Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to today's workshop about how to address a reviewer's comment. Hope you are all in good conditions. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Faculty of Economics and Business. In this workshop, we're going to exploring the do and the don'ts on addressing reviewer comments. And before we start, let me introduce our speakers for today. So we're going to have two speakers here with us already. Professor Eng, he is from Unimas, the University Malaysia Sarawak. He is the Deputy Dean for Research and Commercializations and also the Director of the Center for Business, Economics and Finance Forecasting. He already published 109 journal articles and 91 research papers, earning numerous awards such as the Young Researcher Awards and the Highest Impact Journal Paper Awards. Professor Ivan also has secured 32 research grants, and he frequently speaks at international conferences and is ranked among the top 9% economists in Malaysia and Asia, and the top 10% in Asia by the research paper in Economics. And the second speaker, there will be Dr. Sunu Wibirama. He is a lecturer from the Faculty of Engineering, Universitas Gadjah, Mada. His research interest is about the cybernetics Indonesia, and then about the AI, eye tracking sensor, and virtual reality. He already published more than 50 scientific articles about eye tracking, user experience, and applied artificial intelligence in international conferences and international journals with impact factor. His scopus aging date is 15th of February 2024. So, thank you again for coming. So we're going to have Professor Ivan. The time and floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I don't plan to sit there because I plan to move around. It's more interesting than just sitting there. There will be very much boring for me. Right? Thank you very much for having me actually here in Universitas Gadjah Mada. This is actually one of my dreams actually to be here in FEB. Universitas Gadjah Mada. I've been through numbers of years. I've been here, like I told earlier, just to be starting off not so relaxed first. I just relaxed first. I've been here actually, but not officially. I just run inside the campus before in 2019 when I visited other university here in Gadjah. So this is the time that I come here in 2024 finally. Right. So just now the moderator have explained a little bit about myself. Thank you very much. I'm currently the Deputy Dean. They appoint me as a Deputy Dean January 2024. My job is actually to look into research collaboration opportunity and so on. So one of the reasons I'm being here also is one of that, and to look more of the collaboration opportunity with FEB, Universitas Gadjah Mada, with our Faculty of Economics and Business in University Malaysia Sarawak in the Borneo Island. Right? It's not very far. We are just one island away from you, from this big island. Oh yeah, just a bit of short CV. Just about myself, summarizing what I've done for the past nearly 20 years in the university, and actually I submitted this front page for my professor application last year, and they awarded or I got the professor also last year actually, full professor last year, and this is the front page of the front page. Of course, this is not update. This is just update a few days ago. The Deputy Dean, because before that I'm not the Deputy Dean. And a lot more other things. And this also quite recently I was appointed, I was promoted into section editor of economics in Helion. Helion is one of the big journal today. If anyone have sent to Helion, I'm in economics, one of the section editor. So looking into a lot of papers coming in. We have, think on average about more than 200 papers in a month coming into Helion. So then, yeah, hopefully I can do it. The appointment was last month, April. Helion impact factor 3 point something. I forget, it's a Q1 journal. So those interested, but you have the journal have you have to pay if you do publish because it's open access. It's open access journal. That's the only backside of it. Other than that, it's a good journal. It's growing up. All field of studies, just to promote Helion for a while, all field of studies from sciences into social science you can send because we have a lot of section editor, even from medical, from engineering, from any other field, and social science, economic, business, finance. Economics has one section today. We have 5 section editors, including myself. 5 is that we deal with a lot of papers coming in today. The journal are growing. And part of that experience and other experiences too, while becoming editors and associate editors with other journals also are very much important to share with you today. Hopefully, you get some insight of what we can do as an author. I'm also an author. I'm also an editor. I'm also doing a lot of different time. So we do that as a lecturer. Our job is not just to teach in the class, but also to motivate the student and also to become a good researcher. And at the same time, we hold some administrative posts maybe to motivate the academician to do a little bit more, right? Just a little bit. I straight away go today. I mean to very much important things. I think everyone knows that peer reviewing or respond to the peer review is very much important. Hopefully, like how we respond to our reviewer when we revise our thesis. Remember back then, you do your S3, S2, you want to revise your thesis. The examiner asks you 10 questions. In the report, you must reply also 10 response, or maybe more than 10. Right? That's how we do things. Same thing goes to journal. It must be done professionally. That's one of the important things. So I start off with like that. It's not always easy. Get it right, you could see your paper published. Get it wrong, it might mean rejected. Because you know why? For one simple reason that I always tell people, perhaps you do not want the reviewer or the editor to read back your paper again. So they just see the response. They just see the response to reviewer, which may be already 5 pages. Not the paper. So the paper may be 15 pages. Your paper may be 15 pages. After revision, maybe 18 pages. But your reply, if there is 10 questions or more than 10 questions, then your reply may be already 2 or 3 pages. So most of the editors, including myself as an editor, we look at the response of the reviewer, and then we can decide from there whether this paper need to send back to the reviewer or not, or we just accept straight away. If we satisfied, if the editor satisfied, they will accept. Editor have the autonomy to do that. Of course, that's why we have few editors. We can discuss among each other. It's okay or not? Can we proceed? Yeah, go ahead. That's what a lot of journals are doing today. Because you can imagine that submission in the big journal, they goes up to thousands. Editors also human. Yeah. So we maybe read like 20 papers in a day or something like that. We go through. So you don't expect us to go the papers again, revision each line. So we look at the response. If the response is not so satisfactory, then we look back at the paper. If it's okay, we perhaps stop there already because it's good enough. And then we look at the paper in the glance. If it's good, then we just pass. You just say this paper okay. So you get this. If you don't do that, reject. We don't have time to waste. You just send the revision. You expect the editor to find where is your revision. What you want us to do? Compare no way we can do that anymore. I mean, some journal they will state that very clearly. To do the revision, you must send us the clean file and the file with put some notation. Annotation is it you call it? File with some red color, green color, whatever color. Some journals state that clearly, but some do not. But actually, we as author, we should do that. So we send 2 files, but in some submission system, only 1 file. So it depends. If you want file, you combine. And then the response. The response must be there. Written it properly. Right? Written it properly. So what's the chances of getting that? So it just, I think I'll go through this one. The mistake is that a lot of stories I heard from my friends, including my own, not myself, my junior friends, lecturers in that sense, they don't respond properly, the editor reject the paper. Because it seems like you're not serious doing the revision. You must be seriously you must be very serious in doing the revision. Despite whatever journal that we send. It can be a local, maybe Indonesian journal or local Malaysian journal. You still have to be serious. And then even an international journal, we have to be serious. The same thing. The seriousness must be there because we send there, we got the report, we respond. So this is also a dilemma sometimes. This is also a dilemma. I'm looking into the editor perspective. Later on, I'll go back to authors. Editor perspective is that we receive the paper, we send out for review, we got the report, we send back to the authors. We give the authors deadline. 2 weeks, 1 month, depending on whether it's major, minor, or something like that. The author never get back to us. Never tell us a story. So what should we do with that paper? So in most of the big journals today, if the deadline is over, we just reject the paper. That's it. Because we can't just wait for you to respond, If you want extension of the time, let the journal know. You say 2 weeks is too short. Can you give us another 2 weeks? No problem. You ask. I also do that sometimes as an author. I also do that. I cannot make it in 2 weeks because too much other things to do. No worries. You ask from the journal editor, can we have 1 month, 30 days, or 21 days or something? They will most of the time. Editors, again, we are human. So we will say, okay, no problem. Do it. As long you reply properly later. Right? On that part, a well-crafted, this one I think I already said that. This, I just give example. I know it's very, very small out there. I sent to one journal some time ago. I sent to one journal, this is back in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, 2019 or 2018. I said it should be before COVID. We sent the paper to Singapore Economic Review. Maybe those in economics should know. It's a NTU. The editor is from NTU, Nanyang Technology University. Singapore Economic Review. It's an impact factor, I think Q2, the impact factor should be 1.9 something only. Not very high, but it's not easy to get it. This one is my experience from author's perspective. But I managed to publish, I think 2 or 3 papers inside there. Not easy to get it, it's not very high impact. It's not impact 12 or impact 10. Sometimes impact 10 is easier to go to the lower impact. It's okay, the editors are very strict. No worries. The first paper I sent, reject. It's straight away reject, without anything, reject. Say it's not suitable and so on. Common. This is common, never mind. Then we send the paper to another journal. This is called Borsa Istanbul Review. Borsa Istanbul Review is under the editor is called Professor Ali Kutan. Professor Ali Kutan is from US University. I met him a few times, Prof. Ali Kutan. He accepted our paper in the end after revision and so on, which has higher impact factor than this journal. Borsa Istanbul Review, which is in short is called BIR. Those in economic, finance, management can try. Borsa Istanbul Review is a good journal. They are sponsored by the stock market on that side and Turkey side. So it's a good journal. It's in Elsevier. I think 3 point something impact factor. much easier to get in, if you ask me, compared to SER. We have one paper there. When I say much easier, this year I sent another paper there. Bonsai Istanbul review, also straight away reject. So sometimes this paper I sent is ASEAN. This is ASEAN studies. The recent paper that I sent with my co-author from Turkey is on Turkey. They reject those editor. Prof. Aliputan straight away reject. It's okay, no problem. We try again. We send to another journal. So anyhow, that's from author's perspective, right? Then we sent another paper. Later on, we sent another paper, but this one to do with. This one to do with this. How do I go back? Okay. This one to do with COVID-19. And this one they have the report. So this is the report. It says review, comment. The two review comment I showed to you because this paper already published. Okay. This paper published I think in 2022 or somewhere there. This is SER, Singapore Economic Review. We sent another paper. I sent another paper with my co-author, but this one is on COVID, Malaysia, impact on stock market, how the pandemic affect the stock market. In Malaysia studies, only one country studies. Just now the studies that we said is ASEAN country. They reject. These Malaysian studies, they seem to be okay. They say out, got the report, major, one major, one minor. We reply properly one by one. You must reply one by one. If there's 6 here, make sure you have 6 reply, at least. If they provide you 10 reply, you must respond one by one. Don't just skip. Hey, ni tak perlu lah, ni tak perlu. Semua tak perlu buat lah. So it means you must reply properly in that sense. This is one example. I have another interesting example. This is one journal. Okay, this another journal. Okay, this another journal called Such Open. Such Open is also impact factor. They are quite multidisciplinary. I sent 2 papers. There one paper earlier on in 2016 I sent, reject. With the report. This is with the report. They reject. So there's no chance for us to get back to the authors, to the editors. Editors say reject. Okay. Then I sent another paper October last year. We got the review in April, about 6 months after that. They want us to reply. They want us to send back the revision in 1st of May. So we only have 15 days. But it's minor, so okay lah. So I say, okay, I can do it on 1st of May. So we already sent back. So now finger crossed lah. Hopefully they will accept our paper. Hopefully. But this one also has ABC lah. I mean, which is the article charges because it's open access. But it's okay. Alright, I sent that with my student work. This study is on more towards managed marketing. This one is more towards economics. But they accept because it's such open. Such open also I usually review for them and review for them. Sometimes you review for the journal. Sometimes in some journals you review for the journal. If you want to publish in that journal, they will give you some discount. Some journals. Not only from MDPI. Some other publishers also do the same. If you always review for them, not MDPI usually do that, but other publishers also do that. Example like this one. You review a lot for them, they will give you discount if you publish your paper. That's their promise. Because they don't review paper, we don't get money. So we get recognition. I review also a lot of papers. So then that's way we get to know a lot of editors. and so on. So sometimes it's good to review paper also to build up, and then not to say easier, but in a way that you can have this kind of thing. Right? Let me just go ahead. This one another journal. I just sent also quite recently. This one before this. This paper that had been rejected. Then my co-author sent to another journal. After that, my co-author sent to another journal called British Food Journal. British Food Journal is quite a good journal in Elsevier, except, which is have higher impact factor than this journal. Sometimes it's interesting. So sometimes we think that we send to one journal gonna reject, then we send a lower one. Why not we try a higher one? Maybe you have a chance. There's sometimes gamble that, and it's okay. I feel of my papers is such a way. We send to the common one, you get rejected, and then we send to the higher one. It's like, you get accepted. It's interesting. Right, that's very interesting. Anyhow, this journal also, they reject us. What's this? Oh, I remember. This journal is called International. This journal is called International Journal of Social Economics. Social Economics, that one is in Emerald. Yeah, Emerald. This journal, I always tell, everywhere I go, I always tell this story. This International Journal of Social Economics, I review more than 30 papers for them for the past so many years. But they never accept my paper. Every time I send, and they reject me. Either they reject through reports or they reject through straight away. It's okay, I still try. It's not impact factor, it's just a scopus journal. But they never accept my paper at all. I'm trying as an author. I'm still trying. So we send a lot of papers, actually not this one only. I sent few papers already. Keep rejecting. So this paper rejected, and then we send to another one. Right? And this one, another journal. Also this one is that one is IJC. This one another journal called Congen. Congen also is under review. This is second review to that. More interesting. This paper is we send one time, we get the report come back, and then we reply everything. The editor send back to the reviewer. Reviewer come up with another report, send back to us. Extra thing to do. We do more extra thing. We send back on April, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, January this year. So now it's May. There's no result yet. So we're still waiting. Second review, and we still do the same thing, right? Sometimes it happens such a way. R2 is review second time. Sometimes you can go into R3, R4. Kena sabar. It's autumn. Right, I will share this a bit faster to get my colleague here to talk also. Right, right. Just now I already mentioned to you. First thing. 10 simple rules. First thing is that you must thank the editor. Provide overview, then quote the full sets of review. This must be in the response to the editors or to the reviewer. You must say thank you, this one, and so on. Even though you don't feel like say thank you, but you have to say thank you. In the letter, you must do that. That's very good way, professionally do that, right? And then the response maybe you include in the table, in the figure. Normally I put the table. Easy. Report, respond. Reviewer 1. Reviewer 2, report, respond. Reviewer 3, report, respond if you have more. Some journals goes up to 5 reviewers. Jangan terkejut lah. You get 5 review. Some, but most of the time 2. 2 editors already feel satisfied. Some journals they have 3, they have 4, they have 5. Why sometimes have 5? Because editors send to more people. We editors send to more people. So sometimes all of them reply. So we send back to the authors. Sometimes we send 5, none reply. We send 5, only 1 reply. So we have to send more 5 to get 1 more. So the chances, because reviewer is not paid job to become reviewer. Except for some journals, maybe they put some monetary incentive if you become reviewer. But most of the time we don't pay. So free things not good for the CV. People don't see it. Yeah. No monetary, no motivation, no incentive. And reviewer perhaps is not really big part of your promotion criteria. It's not big part actually. Unfortunately, I'm not sure in Indonesia, but in Malaysia, no. Become a reviewer is not a big part in the promotion criteria in Malaysia. But it's okay. That's the extra thing I do, and the interviewer knows. In my interview, they know. So you review a lot of people, yeah, a lot, and so on and so on. Okay, that's number 1. Rule number 2. Of course, you have to be polite and respectful for all the reviewers. Despite sometimes some reviewers write a very harsh comment. on your paper, very harsh. They can write very harsh. They say that this paper should not be sent to this journal at all. Wow. After you feel like, this paper should be like this, like this. This paper should be like that. There's one thing you have to know as an author, me myself also. This is what I normally do. If you see the email of from the journal says report is ready. We get your first, report ready. I mean, we receive the email say report is ready from this journal. I will look at it. Most of the time, I will straight away look at it, and then I will just keep it there for a few days, maybe 1 day or 2 days. Don't straight away go to see so many things like. You get stressed. Relax as an author. That's my experience. I'm telling you. Maybe you give 1 day, 2 days. Just relax first. Go back again the second day. You might feel better that way already. If you see the report say major correction, you see that? Oh. And so on, right? It's common. I also get that, right? As an author, as long the editor gives us a chance to revise, then the probability of getting the paper published is there. The probability statistically probability will be there. But if the editor do not give us the chance, then it's a different story. Sometimes one report is rejected, one report is major correction. Editor give chance. Depends on editor. This happens to me also personally. We have one paper just recently published. Finally, we have gone through R2, revise kali kedua, the process. First revision, three reviewer. Reviewer 1 says okay, minor. Reviewer 2 reject. Reviewer 3 major. Editor say you do revision. You do revision. They give chance. Editor give chance. Good, this journal. What's the name? In Wiley publisher. Anyhow, so and then we send second time back to the reviewer. Reviewer 1 said accept. Reviewer 2 still reject. Reviewer 3 say a little bit of minor correction. So only reviewer 2 as of now. Reviewer 2. So then we discuss how we want to overcome this, because reviewer 2 asks us to do this. Do more extra, ask us to collect more data, run more moderating impact, more mediating impact, and so on and so on. We do not do that at first. We just explain, we do this, that's our limitation and so on. But the reviewer says, no, you should address that properly. That's the second review. Okay? Then we do the second time. The second time is that we do everything, we answer properly, we provide justification. I'm sure that the editor do not send back the third time to the reviewer anymore. The editor straight away decide to accept our paper after that. Because there are 3 review. The first review, after first review is already accepted. Second review still reject. Third review say minor, a little bit only, minor. So we do that all. We answer the second one, justification. The editor do not send back. I'm pretty sure he do not send back. If he send back, review 2 will still reject our paper. Because we don't 100% do. We don't re-estimate the whole thing. We re-estimate but not the whole thing. So the editor decide. Okay. Because you have 3 reports. If let's say 2 out of 3 say accept, editor will say accept. 2 out of 3. We just not to say ignore. We say the editor has that kind of power. So be polite when you reply, despite that you feel a little bit of anger. That's why I told you, receive the report, don't respond today, respond tomorrow. Respond 2 days later when we feel more calm. After reading the report, sometimes we feel like, reviewer don't even know our paper. That kind of feeling. Same thing to the reviewer when they read the paper. What is this author writing? Same. When we become the reviewer, we also feel in such a way. When we become the author, we also feel such a way. So it's okay lah. Just relax first for a while. Okay, number 3 there, of course, continue from what I say. right? In such a situation, in some cases, you believe that the reviewer has a hidden motive to delay the manuscript. In such a situation, you should not directly confront the reviewer, despite perhaps you know sometimes, but we don't do that. We don't do that. You don't write inside the response in such a rude way. Yeah, it can get a lot. Right? As an editor, I'm sure as an editor, sometimes you get a very interesting report. Very interesting about the paper, the report. They say that this paper, why you send this paper to me? Such a bad paper. Some reviewers reply like that when I become the editor. Editor tulis, the reviewer write to the editor said that you should not send this paper to me. This paper is of low quality. How should we as editor tell the authors that? No way. Right? So we just ignore that report. We need to find another new reviewer. So that takes another month maybe to review the paper. So it's a bit longer sometimes. So road critic do not justify, except this number 3, accept the blame. Whatever they say, okay lah, I'm wrong, okay I'm wrong, I should do this, I should do that. I try my best to do this, to do that, right? Right? If the reviewer fails to understand something, apologize for not making it clear until it's clear. Say that this is not clear, you do not include this theory, you do not include that theory, you should cite this paper, you should cite that paper, cite them properly. Like again, my experience as an author of this, my recent paper that I accepted with my colleagues. The second reviewer actually asked us to cite list of paper, a list of paper from the first report. First report, the reviewer said, cite this paper. You do this study, you should cite this paper. Why is not in your reference? Now we know who's the reviewer. Because you reveal yourself. Right? You ask us to cite your paper. Obviously. Right? Who else will say, hey, we cite this paper? It's your paper, right? But it's okay. We still professionally, we say no problem. We cite that one that's appropriate. Appropriate means that appropriate to our study. So the one that's not appropriate, we don't cite. Perhaps that's also trigger the reviewer say that why you don't cite everything. But he did write that at the second report. We identify it's a he after that, and so on. We can know sometimes who is the reviewer, despite they don't write the name. We see how the way they write, and inside the reference and so on. As an author, you might know already. This is the guy that write the report to me, right? This one. In general, even the requested change is unnecessary. It's usually better to go ahead, revise, to show that you listen, to show that you understood, to show that you can do it. That's most important, right? Also very much important. Number 4 here is about make sure your response is self-contained, instead it's self-explanatory. If you put in the table, make sure it's replied properly. When I say replied properly, I think I start an example later. Let me go back here. Go ahead. Number 5, respond to every point raised by the reviewer. 10 points, reply 10. Don't just reply thank you. or thank you is still okay. Some response is like done. What is done? Wait. Don't just reply done. Reply, maybe done, refer to what page, what line, what paragraph. Be specific, not just done. You expect the reviewer and the editors done. What is done? Then your paper is done. Your paper is done. They say, okay, this is easy. Reject. Because everything you write done. Respond more, not just done. Respond a little bit more. Right? You can thank you, and then you can write, it has been like this, and so on and so on. But respond it properly. Right? Don't just like done. Because a lot of us, including not myself, sometimes my co-authors, they write done. It's like, no, more, write more. Right? We have to train that. Respond to everyone, respond to the reviewer, and then this one is related to the previous one is like, when I say use topography means that either you use different font color, different that one, it's up to you. You can use that easier. One of the things that I discussed with my co-authors is like, if let's say you have two reviewer, reviewer 1, reviewer 2, you want to differentiate between the two in your article, revised article, you put the response red in color for reviewer 1, response green in color reviewer 2, and blue in color is something extra that you do. They don't ask, but you do extra. So you have 3 different colors inside there. You can play around with the colors. That will be more interesting for the reviewer and the editors. They will think that you are very serious doing the revision. You're not just my mind inside there. Don't just play around. You must be serious when you do the revision, because that's very important. Then you see that seriousness, they see that seriousness, you explain in your letter, in the response letter to the editor, says that the red color font is for who, green color font is for who, and blue color is for something extra that we do. They don't ask what we do. They don't ask to send for English editing, but we send. And then we upload the certificate, most of the time, proofread certificate. They don't ask what we do. Then your editor feel like, oh, this is good. Right? We want, actually, our job, we want as much as possible to the editor not to send back to the reviewer again. We try our best to do that. Of course, probability they will send back. It's just that if you respond properly with all these things, they might not send back anymore. They just say, okay, accept, this is good. Right? So we have that kind of thing also, right? That's number 2. Number 7, whenever possible, begin the response to each comment with direct answer to the point it raised. Maybe yes, no, or something, or and then you explain why yes, why no, refer to what page, refer to this one, refer to that one, respond. Right? Respond properly. Yes, we have done it. Yes, you are right. Reviewer say, perhaps you should cite this theory, that theory. You say, yes, this is correct. We should do this. We acknowledge our limitation, and so on and so on. Do that properly. Sometimes I even thank you, the reviewer, inside the footnote of the paper. Some of the footnote I will say that this issue has been raised by the reviewer. I thank you for that. I put in a footnote in the article, not in the reply. In the article itself, wow, baru reviewer nampak, wow. The feeling is different. If necessary, but don't do that for every reply. Then every of your footnote is about thank you. Don't do that every reply. Just, you can do that 1, maybe 2, the one that major one. The one that you think they touch on the major one. Right? You can do that, no problem. This one related to number 1, and the previous one is now, do what the reviewer asks. Do what the reviewer asks. If you have 10, they ask you for 10 questions, you answer 9 properly. That's 9 out of 10. It's good enough already. Very good enough. If you answer 10 out of 10, even better. But don't answer 5 out of 10. That's not good. Probability gone. You answer, try to answer. Not try every time that we do not do this, we do not do this, we do not do this. Wow. The reviewer suggests you to do this. You say that, no, we don't do this. No, this is out of our scope. No, this is out of scope. No, this is everything out of your scope. So your paper is also out of scope. Right? Don't do that. Respond properly. Justify. If you don't want to do it, justify. Rebuttal properly. Not just say no every time. You must respond properly. Okay? So I already acknowledged section. Thank you. This one I already mentioned just now. Acknowledgement. Some journals do not allow reviewers acknowledgement. But acknowledgement normally you write there. And in the acknowledgement you thank the university. Maybe you thank some of your research grant. And then you thank the editors and the reviewer. Normally I will do that. Normally I will do that, right? In that sense, right? This one already mentioned just now. If you do 9 out of 10, they will be good enough, right? The next one, be clear about the changes related to the previous version. Be clear. Remember, what have you changed? That's why most of the time when I do the changes, even the word is, a, you know, that kind of not even the grammatical that I change, you have to put, I highlight it everything. I highlight. You put highlight means that red in color. I put the font in red in color so that I know where I change. Sometimes you forget. After some time you forget. Like, mana tadi? Which part did I change this now? Which sentence did I change you? When you do the revision, when you answer it, you change it, then you straight away do with the apple and and so on, right? Yeah, you must know what I changed. So the question is that, sorry, go back. The question is that we must remember what we have changed. What's different from this version to that version. So this part of it is very important at the beginning. At the beginnings of the letter, to the editor says that our original version is like this. Our revised version will take into consideration of this, and this. As a summary to the editor. Then you list down what you have changed based on the report. Okay? Then number 10 here, if necessary, this is just a suggestion. Write the response twice. When I say write the response twice, is that you have draft and then you have your final version. Draft first, you draft first, and then you type it nicely, respond nicely, read carefully. Read carefully of your response. Read carefully. Sometimes I need to write few times my response. Why? Because after we revise our article, page number change, sentence change, paragraph change. You have to check. You have to check back your revision, your response. Later on, the editor check. Page 1. Page 1 is different. Page 3. Page 3 is different thing. Then they say that you're not serious. Make sure it's same. Tally. You have to check. So we have done this few times. So if you have co-author, ask them to check for you, for us also, not just our job, the co-author's job also, right? This one already respond. Spell it out. Like I said just now in the beginning, page 10, page 5, what line, what paragraph. Spell it out. Inform the reviewer. Not just say thank you or done. Done. Refer to this page. Done. Refer to this page. 10. That one is more better when you respond. Respond properly. Respond properly. Right? I think this is just an example. Example, respond to the referee letter. For example, respond to referee 1. Using this is the comment, and this is the this is the command. This is comment, and then the respond something like this. I thank the referee for carefully reading our paper and constructive suggestions which have helped to improve our paper. We appreciate that the referee thinks that this is an important contribution to the review. You have to refer that. This is a very good way to write. Despite that they say no comment, but they just write there, this can be a contribution, highlight this more. Then you say thank you for pointing this out to us. That will improve better of our paper. Professional. Right? Nice speech. It's okay. Today, if you do not know how to write, sometimes we do that also. Sometimes I do that. Right now I do that. After we respond nicely, we think it's good. Then we ask ChatGPT to improve our English. No problem. There was no problem. It's a response. They don't check plagiarism for the response. They check plagiarism for the revised paper, not the response. Response is okay. No worries. You can use the generative AI. No worries for helping you to respond properly. But make sure, despite can use that, don't copy everything from there. You must know what is written there. Right? If not, it become very AI talking, not you talking. Not you respond, it's the AI respond. It must be human response. So normally what I do, I'm still doing it as an author. I do that. If I think this the write-up is not very, not very not say bombastic, not very the wording perhaps not so good for me. I will put the whole thing paragraph put inside ChatGPT, for example, and ask you to rephrase, and they will become better. Still the same thing, but written in a different way. For that, is good, right? You can use that. Years ago, we don't have that. Now we use that, right? This is example of my also my table. Normally, I will do that. You see, reviewer 4. We have 4 reviewers. This one of one of the paper. So we do this. We can answer like this sometimes. I mean, this is from the report, and then this is what the reviewer thinks, and then we amended. This was highlighted and so and so on and so on and so on. So we highlight where the changes be made. You do a table like this. Not necessarily 4 columns. It can be 2 columns. It's up to you. As long you do the table. My suggestion: do the table nicely. Right? So that you can see clearly, but make sure you return in such a way. So in this thing, like this one, because reviewer 2, reviewer 3 also highlight the same thing. So we just say you can refer back to the reviewer 2 respond, or in this one and this one, no problem, because they highlight the same thing, right? Instead they are consistent in that sense. So this one is another one. The one that I told you just now at the beginning. Thank you, the editor's reviewer, for insightful comments on paper. We highlight the incorporated changes, reflect suggestion, comment. The following are the point-by-point response from us to all respective editor review comments and concerns. So this is same thing. We rewrite and respond the whole thing nicely, professionally, right? Just one example, and a lot more actually. This one is from other example. This is the comment. This is the response. Oh, okay. You kena push the referee thinks that they are correct. In a way, and you tend to tell them the assembly is right. Besides using the composite, this one. Yes, you say that your comment is correct, but ours we do like this, of different perspective. It's also nothing wrong. Academically, perhaps you have different perspective, different approach. Don't be rude. Be polite. It's okay. You don't lose anything. Be polite. You lose a lot when you be rude. When you reply in a more rude way, you said it's the same thing. You are not good. So you don't say you are not good. You say that our view is different. That's all. So it's a different perspective, right? This one also same thing. The authors use separate group of variables for banking sector, capital market. However, it's informative. If it's an aggregate development, measures can be used to combine both banking sectors, capital market measures development. This is the response. For example, why we do that? Justification. Why we justify it, suggest by this one and this one, and we cite, and then we say, and so on and so on. So this can be done. No worries, as long as we provide a proper justification. Don't just answer, no, you are wrong. You don't do that. We use citation. We use proper citation and so on. This is just an example, a lot more actually. Other example. I also do this. This I told you just now, additional. They don't ask. We do additional. Normally, right now, I tell my student, especially my PhD student, if we do a revision of the paper, we have to send to English editing, no matter what. So normally, I will ask some extra time from the journal. I say that we need extra 3 more days or 5 more days because we want to send this paper for English editing. They will improve the quality of the writing and so on and so on. You use the nice word. So we have to ensure our paper fits in your journal, which like this, and we have to uplift the journal quality. So we have to ensure our paper is in the good, grammatically correct and so on. Write that to the editor. Editor will feel happy to see that. I will be happy if I receive that kind of email that says that we do extra thing. This is extra. Okay, need extra keywords and so on and so on. And I think this is another example. You can disagree as long as you can explain, right? No problem. No problem is that as long as you explain with scientific debate, with a proper response, and the other part is that we have justification. Justification is important. I think I want to move to the previous last one. Right. Example, response to referee. Right. This one, we can write in such a way. Apologize for the length of this letter, which is, however, due to the length and the depth of the referee report. As a consequences of the changes, the paper have the feeling tested of complete analysis and additional materials, so it's only pages longer. At any rate, regardless of your editorial decision, I would like to thank the referee on my behalf for his careful and sympathetic reading of my paper. Wow. Sounds good. It sounds good, right? You promote them straight. You say that, yeah, the report is so much, so we have more response, so the paper getting more pages. Okay? At any rate, regardless of your editorial decision, oh, this is good. You testing back the editor, except our paper lah. In other words, this is reverse psychology. This is called reverse psychology actually, which is also good. You can use some of the keywords that you can use to apply them properly, right? One of the biggest mistakes actually made by authors is to respond to all comments but forget actually to update the paper sometimes. We forget or some authors actually purposely forget. Maybe we send the wrong revision, upload the wrong revision or something like that. You have to respond but you do not really do the changes. You say you do the changes but you don't do the changes. Of course, don't do that. Remember, and in the end, I think towards the end here, some of the key takeaway from this discussion, from this my sharing here is, first, we must respond in a much more promptness in a way, and graciousness. Promptness means that you have to go through one by one. And clarity must be supported by evidence, it must highlight the change, and of course in the end it must follow the professional tone. You must write professionally. We as the authors, we write professionally. We don't write in a much very rude way to respond to that, right? Following this rule, you can navigate the peer review process with confident integrity, ultimately increase the quality, impact of your manuscript, or increasing the chance of publication. Hopefully everyone of us can publish. I also, until today, despite that I'm talking this, I'm sharing with you this thing, I'm still struggling sometimes to publish a lot of papers because we go through this process every time. Right? Review come, you respond. Review come, you respond. So this year also, we've been rejected a lot of times in a lot of journals, but it's okay. It's commonly. And this morning actually, while I'm speaking to you this morning, my university actually give me another award actually this morning, but I'm not there to receive the award. I'm here in Gadjah, Mada. I got another award of I think they provide. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's a research award of highest citation in social science in the university. That's what my dean and the rest. I think that's why I put my phone there. It's a lot of message coming in. So, but the award was today actually. Then I told my university, hey, I already promised to go to Gadjah Mada. So it's okay. The award. I mean, this has been said earlier than the award. The award is extra tip, so it's okay. Just to add up to make the CV more for me, right? So I think thank you very much. Just want to have 1 minute to promote this conference. Those of you who have not sent the conference, you can send to our conference happening in September in Hilton. You have not sent, please do. The journal itself, two of the FEB journal are part of our journal, and a lot more other journals there actually. Our affiliated partners journal. You can come, inform me, I'm the chairperson. I'm the chair of this conference. If you can contact me personally, if you want to send a paper, or if any one of you want to come, few participants want to come, you inform me. We can adjust the registration fees. No worries. That one can be discussed as long as you inform me. You must inform me, because if not, I do not know. I do not take care of the registration side. I'm chair of this conference, so they will just inform me. So you must inform me, then I can inform them. Then I instruct them to say this is what you can do. Right? This happens. We still open any other field related to this thing, and yeah, in the end, I think this is also I submit for my professor. Professorship promotion last year. I have few pages like my infographic. I put infographic rather than the CV. CV already submitted. Then when I go for the interview, I bring the infographic only for the panel. You see my infographic. We like this kind of thing today. So use the technology, use the numbers. Do that. The next promotion you go, despite your university didn't ask you to do this, you can do this. Easier way to promote yourself. For me, I'm not sure in Indonesia perhaps, but it's the same thing. I think they'll be very happy to see this kind of thing. Citation or whatever, and so on and so on. It's based on database. This is quite updated, I think. I updated this few days ago. And a lot more other slides that I have. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. Anything you can email me, or if you want to get my number, also no problem. You can always message me, and I will be very happy to collaborate with anyone. Not just in economics. My background is mostly on economics, but then again I do other things also. Business studies, finance, and related, or even some language research, IT. If they need my help, I will do medical. Some insight there. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. We're going to have Q&A session with Prof. Moderator after the second speaker, but before we go into the second speaker, this microphone, thank you. Before we go to the second speakers, let me give you the summary of the first speaker. So based on Prof. Even experience as an editor, editor will see the response of the reviewer. If they're satisfied about how author addressed the reviewer comments, then the your papers most likely will be accepted. And then, as an author, he suggests that if you were sending your paper into a specific journal, then you got rejected, and there is nothing wrong with sending it into the higher level of the journal. And then if you got a reviewer's comment and then you were shocked, and then you can just take some time, 1 or 2 days after you calm down, and then you can respond to the reviewers. And then you need to be specific in responding each reviewer's comment. And you probably might using a different infographic, and then you might use like tables so your reviewer can address and make sure that you addressing all the reviewer comments. And also, it is important to write a gratitude statement for the reviewer because they already carefully reading your paper. Okay, thank you, Prof. Evan. And now it's time to have the second speaker, Dr. Sunu Wisana. The time and place is yours.
Alright, so thank you very much for having me in this particular event. My name is Wibirama and I'm from Faculty of Engineering. It's very different from all of you coming here. I'd like to know how many of you coming from Faculty of Engineering. So please raise your hand. Only my students. I bring my students. Actually, we have a class today, but since I got invited by Dr. Gadjah, so we cancel the class and then we bring the students here. So actually, this is the same class. Okay. The same class but different room. Yeah? Right. So the title of my presentation is about handling peer review process and addressing reviewers' comments. So I think some of the materials have been presented by Professor Eng, as you may know. This is a short curriculum vitae. Two things that you should remember is my name and then my Instagram account. Yeah. So please don't forget to follow my Instagram account. No, just joking. So my research interest is actually applied AI. So I'm doing a lot about artificial intelligence and applying the AI to human-computer interactions, so that it's not the core mathematical research, but it's more about applied research. I've been worked in several journals, but the notable journals is Asian Engineering Journal. This is international journals, Focus Index Journal. I was their section editor-in-chief from 2018 to 2022. Of course, this is voluntary work, section editor-in-chief. And then after being section editor-in-chief in the Asian Engineering Journal, I joined the Jurnal Nasional Teknik Elektro and Teknologi Informasi. This is our own journal. Ya. Jadi jurnalnya departemen kami. Jadi kami juga punya jurnal. Already seen that too, but this year we try to promote the journal to scholars. And then another activity is National Journal Assessor. Ya, jadi saya lah yang memeriksa jurnalnya Bapak Ibu kelola. Mungkin ya. Kalau bidangnya teknik elektro, if you are working in electrical engineering or computer science, then your journal perhaps will be reviewed by us. Gitu ya. Mungkin akan kami review, mungkin. Right. So this is a bit about my academic profile. Actually, you can just open Scopus or Google Scholar and then put my name over there. You just drop my name, you can get the whole things. Yeah. Nowadays it's open. Yeah. All information is open. Yeah. So you can just check the academic profiles. I will skip this. I guess it's not so important for you. This is the similarity of my presentation slide with Professor Evan. Yeah. Professor Evan closed his presentation with Minion. Right? And I open Minion as well. So which one is you? This one? This one? I guess all of you this, yeah? A lot of you are PhD students, right? Right, so the materials actually is my personal experience here. Most of the materials were taken from my personal stats, personal experience. I guess some of the materials perhaps appropriate for your career, for your topics, but perhaps you need to adjust as well. Jadi nggak semua materi itu pas gitu ya. Perhaps you need to fine tune the materials. Yeah. I hope the materials that I present to you is suitable for you, because when I ask you how many students from engineering background, only 5 ya. Mahasiswa saya sendiri ya. Jadi saya agak deg-degan juga ya. Nervous. Ya. Okay. We will learn 3 things. Yeah. First is a brief overview on peer review process. I will keep it fast because perhaps Professor Evan told you about this. And then how to communicate with editors. And lastly, how to respond to the reviewers. Right, so when you send your paper, you have to know that there are 2 kinds of readers. The first one is the editor and the reviewers. And the second one are journal readers. So you have to address all of them. And then you have to make sure that your paper satisfies this one. Ya, jadi 4 poin ini, you have to make sure that the paper, for example, present original and significant contribution. Ya, this is commonalities ya. Jadi novelty, originality itu sesuatu yang teman-teman perlu tahu ya, perlu make sure that your paper address both of them. Ya. And then your paper should be informative and readable, ya, without burdening the reader. So the responsibility is yours, not in the reader's side. Jadi you have to so you have to improve your paper to make sure that the readability of your paper is good enough. Yeah, and then you have to convince the audience that your paper is very important, valid, and relevant to other scientists in the same field. And lastly, you have to justify your scientific finding. Jadi 4 ini teman-teman harus make sure that you have to make sure that your paper includes those 4 points. Yeah. Alright, so this is a summary of 2 qualities why your paper is accepted. The first one is the quality of the research. Yeah, so you have to make sure that your research is good enough, and this will be decided by peer review process. And then the second one is the delivery method. Yeah. So you have to make sure that your paper is good looking. Yeah. Prof. Ivan already told you that you have to do some effort, yeah, perhaps in the response letter, and will show you the exact example of previous presentation from Prof. Ivan and how to dress the reviewer. So we create different color codings in the response letter. I will show you later on. Yeah. And this is the peer review process. I guess all of you already know about this, but I will stress on the test rejection. Sorry, this one. So mostly editor, when they want to reject or they try to reject a manuscript, a submitted manuscript, they will try to look at 4 categories or 4 review criteria. So there are 4 review criteria. The first one is the originality of your research. The second one is whether your research is valid or not. Yeah. The third one, whether your research is under the scope of the journal's topic. And the last one is the readability. So it means that presenting your paper in perfect English is a must. It's compulsory. You can use ChatGPT, yeah, to paraphrase, not to generate the content. Yeah, to paraphrase the content. It's just same like Grammarly or Writeful or other AI tools. Yeah. So you generate by yourself, yeah, manually, and then you improve the readability by using Grammarly or ChatGPT. Yeah. It's okay, but not to generate from scratch. Jadi jangan dari nol. Yeah. Right, and then actually in our field, there are 5 types of editorial decisions. Yeah, this is the one that you want to have. Yeah, setting. Okay, and then you treat all of your friends. Yeah, you bring them to restaurants or something like that. Yeah, this one. Yeah, but there are others conditions as well. Yeah, I ever got this one, conditional rejection. Ya, jadi di reject tapi boleh submit ulang. Revise and resubmit. It's conditional rejection or total reject. This one, yeah. I guess all of you should have at least once experience, yeah, total rejection. So you submit and then get rejected. Oh, it's very good experience. Yeah. So you know how painful it is. Yeah. Saya sempat stres dia 2 hari ya. Pada saat di reject, when I got rejected, and then 2 days ya, stres. Tapi itu awal-awal tuh waktu studi ya, when I was PhD student ya. My first time I submit my paper, and then I got rejected. 2 days ya, stres. Makanya tadi wait 1 or 2 days ya before you response to the reviewer's comment. Kenapa? Karena ada impact-nya. Ya. Uyangnya itu tidak sekedar, yeah, not only on this part, yeah, all of you, yeah, you feel very painful, yeah, after rejection. Okay, how long it takes to get published? What do you think? How many months? Berapa kalau di jurnal FIQ berapa bulan? How many? On average, how long it takes? In average in your journal? Mbak Lydia?
A year.
A year? Oh, wow. Really? Yeah, well, it depends on the target journal. Yeah, actually, yeah. Even in the same journal, yeah, I will show you examples. Yeah, this one is almost 1 year. This is the Entertainment Computing Journal. I submitted 17 February 2017 and accepted at 8 February 2018. Almost 1 year. Yeah. But at the same journal, yeah, I submitted 15 February 2017, available online 19 April. The same journal. Ya, jadi beda sama jurnalnya, mungkin beda editornya ya. Jadi it's different editors perhaps. Yeah. Handling editors or associate editors different. So the speed is, it was different speed. This one berapa ini? How long? Submitted 2011, first published 2013. Ya. Satu ya, This one 16 Desember ya, 16 December 2017, accepted 7 June 2009. Ini yang masuk S3 deg-degan ya, dulu saya kapan ya. Tenang, kita cari yang cepat ya nanti ya. Ini berapa ya tahun ya? Almost 3, 1.5 ya, 1.5 years ya. This one? 13 years. Ya, jangan sampai ke sini makanya. So please don't submit the level here. Okay? Received 1995, accepted 2006. Yeah. Wow, mungkin editornya agak ganti ya baru accepted. But that's very rare case ya, 13 years. Yeah. So it depends on the journal. So first you have to make sure the journal has reasonable duration of review. Before submitting to the journal, you have to check how long it takes for your paper to be reviewed. Why it takes so long? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. One thing that I know is because reviewing a paper is a voluntary work. So you don't get paid, right? You don't get paid. So nanti saja. Ya, nanti saja. Later on, we have so many works, and then when review invitation come up in our email, ya, show up, and then review lagi gitu ya. Apa ini ya? Jadi karena nggak dibayar, jadi malas gitu ya. Dan the editor should remind us ya. When I was associate editor, I have to remind the reviewers, and it's very painful. Sometimes the reviewer was reminded, but I'm very busy. I'm so sorry I cannot review this paper. After 2 months, after 2 months he rejects the invitation. Jadi setelah 2 bulan menunggu, ya dan tidak itu dia akhirnya cancel karena terlalu sibuk. Padahal dia udah approve. He already agreed to review my manuscript, but after 2 months, cancel. Makanya puyeng ya. Jadi sayangnya nggak ada hukumnya di Indonesia ya. So it's not so important for promotion in Indonesia. Alright, so next it's about communicating with editors. Do you know that every time you submit a paper, you need to write a cover letter? Yeah, okay, so you have experience about this, but how to write a cover letter? First, not so many journals open the full name of the editors. Sometimes they just put the family name. If you want to impress the editor, then you have to find out the full name of the editor. So it's like, doing extra things. You just finding what is his full name, what is his, for example, affiliation. Yeah, you can just Google the name of the editor and you will find out more information. That's my suggestions. Yeah. And then introduce yourself, your co-author and the manuscript, the title of the manuscript, and then you can mention what is the manuscript about, this one. So you can describe the topic of the manuscript, and then why it is important, and what is the interesting result of the manuscript. Jadi ini juaranya di sini. It's like marketing, so you have to sell the idea that the manuscript is very important for the journals, right? This one and this one, yeah. To sell my paper, I have to address this one. Therefore, effort to reduce blah 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 have been used by many research groups in South Korea, Japan, United States, United Kingdom, blah 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 blah. Although me myself, I was not pretty sure whether this research has been done in so many countries. Yeah? But I want to make an impression that this research will be used in so many areas, so many different places in the world. So it means that the leadership is very high. When we mention this one by one, ya. Maksudnya apa? Supaya leadership papernya itu luas gitu. Jadi kita kasih ide ke editornya, ayo dong diterima lah gitu ya. Bahasanya begitu. So it's gimmick, ya, marketing things, but that's okay gitu, ya, in the cover letter. Ya. And then next, what kind of people that will read your paper? What kind of people? For example, we feel that our article is suitable for the scope of the journal, particularly blah 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 blah. Yeah. We also hope that our result contribute academically to readers interested in leaders who are working in different fields. So again, I want to give the editor a perception that the paper will be accessed, will be useful for so many people. Yeah. More is better. Yeah. Teman-teman makin bisa mengidentifikasi what kind of field that will read your paper, then it's good because the probability of citation will increase. Kalau dibaca banyak orang kan citasinya akan naik, dan itu editornya juga senang gitu ya. And then declaring the originality and the corresponding author. And normally the corresponding author will write this cover letter. Yeah. Sometimes you can add the letterhead, ya. That's alright. Ya, ini kan bukan kop surat yang resmi sebenarnya, but that's alright to impose the formality of the letter. Yeah, so you can add the letterhead. Some of my colleagues even supply the recommendation letter from the team. Yeah. Ini kayak mau ngelamar kerja aja gitu ya. Kalau saya enggak, ya baik banget gitu ya. It's too much, I think, ya. But my colleagues, oh saya pakai recommendation letter, oh really gitu. So cover letter and recommendation letter from the team. Amazing, amazing. But my colleagues, not me. My colleagues, yeah. That's too much. I think that's too much. That's okay. You can try. Yeah. Okay. Now, what is the comment from the editor? This is one comment. Yeah, revise and resubmit, so it means conditional rejection. Yeah. Ini di reject sih sebenarnya, tapi ya kalimatnya halus ya, revise and resubmit gitu ya. Or major revision. Ya. Major revision. This one, yeah. Normally, people get major revision if the paper is good enough in terms of novelty or the scope of the paper, but sometimes the methods or the result or the discussion should be improved. Yeah. So major revision means that your paper is good enough in terms of originality or readability, but you have to improve the method section, the discussion, or the results. So you will get major revision, and this is very common. Yeah. So if you get major revision, don't feel so sad, ya, karena ini aman banget gitu, so common ya, major revisions. Ya. Alright, now how to respond to the reviewers. This is the most interesting part. Ya. Ditunggu-tunggu. Ya. This one, do and don'ts. I think some of the tips have been presented by Prof. Evan. Ya. Consider the deadline of revision. Is it possible to add more days or requesting? Yeah, it's possible. Ya, saya pernah waktu itu COVID ya, when there was COVID-19, it was very difficult to conduct experiment in our laboratory. So initially the editor gave me 3 months for the revision, the 90 days. 90 hari kan 3 bulan. Unfortunately, the experiment couldn't be conducted, couldn't be performed during the 3 months. So we asked the editor to add 1 month, ya. Dan itu possible. Bahkan waktu itu ya, the editor gave me 2 months ya. Jadi dikasih bonus. Kenapa? Karena ngerti kalau itu COVID. Ya, jadi pada saat itu kan pas rame-ramenya ya. So it's very difficult ya at that time. Ya. So I got 2 months extra time ya. And then read the review result carefully, verify if there is any answer review. This one already presented by Prof. Answer well and polite. This is the main thing that you have to remember. And explain point by point. Even though the reviewer will give you narration, long narration, and you should break the narration into points by points. Ya. Jadi kalau reviewnya bentuknya apa itu paragraf ya tetap harus point by point ya. And don't miss reviewer's request even only one. Prof. Evan says 9 out of 10 is okay ya. 9 out of 10. But for me, I will fulfill all. Ya, take all. 10 out of 10. Ya, 10 out of 10. Don't give personal feeling on your answers. Or use sarcastic language. Ya. Nanti ada contohnya ya. Get inappropriate answer and data and send your manuscript without informing which part you have revised. Suruh nyari sendiri ya, reviewer jangan dikasih tahu. Ya. So you have to inform the reviewer which page, ya, which line, ya. Therefore, in engineering field, it is a best practice to add line numbers. You know, in the manuscript, the subjective manuscript, you add line numbers. Dikasih baris, nomor baris. Kenapa? Supaya addressingnya gampang. Baris kesekian, page sekian, gitu ya. So you can address the reviewers easier because you can mention the page and the line numbers. Yeah. This is the example ya. I took it from PhD comics. Do you know this one? Ada yang tahu? This is a sarcastic comic ya, especially suitable for PhD students ya. To release your stress. PhD comics ya. This one is the correct response ya. Don't do like this ya. Yes, we know people still get the paper out of it. Sorry. We didn't think anybody had read that. Actually, their solution is better than ours. Yeah. You blah 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 reviewer, I know who you are. I'm gonna get you when it's my turn to review. Don't answer like this. Yeah. So you have to make it more polite. You can use GPT. Yeah. If you feel that your answer is not so polite because you baper, you are baper, gitu ya, perasaan gitu ya. So you can just throw in with the response and then you ask the GPT, please make it more polite, and the GPT will give you better suggestions. Yeah, it's very useful actually. That GPT. Alright, so this is another tricks. Yeah, ini trik yang lain. Sometimes we agree with the reviewer comments and sometimes we disagree. Ya, kan setuju nggak setuju biasa aja. Ya, but there is a consensus that whenever you agree or disagree, you must change the paper. Even if it's only change adding some words, but you must do more words actually. So don't just let the paper just like the initial one. You have to make sure that the paper is revised, even it's very small revision. Ya, cara jawabnya gimana? Ini contohnya ya. Ini contohnya. This is the reviewer comments. In your analysis of the data, you have chosen to use a somewhat obscure fitting function. Obscure itu apa? Obscure itu apa? Obsolete ya? Yeah, obscure. In my opinion, a simple Gaussian function would have sufficed. Moreover, the result will be more instructive and easier to compare to previous result. Nah, kalau okay, if you are agree with the reviewer's comment, we agree with the reviewer's assessment of the analysis. Our tailored function does make it impossible to fully blah 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 blah. In addition, in its current form, we agree it would be difficult blah blah blah. We have therefore reanalyzed the data using a Gaussian fitting function. So it means that you confirm that the reviewer is absolutely correct. Kata Prof tadi kan gitu, absolutely correct. Saya belum pernah pakai itu kelasnya, but it's interesting. Kita akan pakai nanti. Alright, so what about disagreeing with the reviewer? Yeah. We agree with the reviewer that a simple Gaussian blah 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 blah. However, this is why you don't agree. But you say we agree. But however, our tailored function allows for the blah 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 in terms of blah blah blah. We have added 2 sentences to the paper. Jadi teman-teman meskipun disagree, jangan cuma diem aja, nggak usah diubah, ngapain disagree gitu ya. No, you have to at least 1 or 2 sentences. So it means that you show some effort, yeah, to address your comments. At least you put some justification. Karena kalau reviewer dikasih sesuatu yang sama gitu ya, actually if you send similar manuscript to the reviewer without changing the manuscript, when I was a reviewer ya, it feels so bad gitu ya. Wah, mas dapat pak kira gitu ya, kayaknya udah cari gitu, reject langsung. Iyalah, kita kan spend some time ya to read your manuscript, ya kan? And you don't get paid. You remember, it's voluntary service. You know? And if you don't change the manuscript, yeah, of course you can disagree with the reviewer's comment, but you have to do some work in the manuscript, yeah, improve the manuscript. Yeah, if you don't improve the manuscript, then it feels so bad. Wah, ini malah emosi gitu ya, nggak gini. Saya pernah dapat yang kayak gitu ya. We disagree, dan dia nggak ngapa-ngapain. Ya udah, saya rekomend rejection akhirnya. Why? Because the authors didn't address my comment secara komprehensif gitu ya. Udah, saya rekomend rejection dan editornya nurut juga gitu. So the paper was rejected. Ya. Jadi tolong nanti teman-teman di-improve ya papernya, even if you disagree with the reviewer ya. Alright, so yeah, polite and show respect and make change. Ya, itu yang paling penting. Ya. Nah ini gambar yang ini canda ya untuk meme yang ini lah supaya nggak terlalu stres gitu ya. Alright, so now writing a response letter, yeah, is it not uncommon? Yeah? It is not uncommon that your response letter is longer than your own manuscript. This is the one that you should remember. Yeah, what is the case? This is my case. Yeah, I wrote 22 pages response paper for a 13-page scientific article. Ya, jadi debatnya itu jauh lebih panjang. Ya, cuma debat belakang layar aja ya. Nah, jadi yang keluar itu 13 pages, but I wrote 22 pages response letter. Bahkan yang terakhir pernah sampai 30 itu pernah. Ya, karena berusaha meyakinkan ya, ini bener kok gitu ya. Nah, terus banyak screenshot pula ya. Nah, makanya jadi panjang page-nya ya. This is the one that Professor Ivan already told you ya, how to address the reviewer comments. This is from my last paper in 2023. It was published in Nature Partner Journal (NPJ). Ya nanti impact factornya bisa dicek sendiri, saya lupa. But it's how many rounds of review what do you think? How many rounds? Berapa ronde coba? Coba ditebak berapa? How many rounds of review? Can you guess? Bisa ditebak? How many rounds? For 6 rounds. Nyaris ya, 5 mungkin tidak pernah juga ya. 6 rounds man. Hah? 4. Very tiring ya. Bolak-balik puas ya guys. Kan lagi gitu ya. Jadi kita meeting gitu ya. We had a meeting with authors and then we discuss point by point-nya. I was with the authors by the way. And the response letter is very neat, yeah, very beautiful. You know, this is the opening of the response letters. This is written by Prof. Prof. is the dean of Faculty of MIPA itu Mathematics and Science ya. Ya ini Prof. ini sekarang dekannya MIPA ya. Saya jadi autornya dia yang nulis. Nah, it has color coding ya, reviewer comments dark blue, author response to answer black, change or revision made in manuscript red. Gitu. Jadi dikasih warna-warni gitu ya. Saya aja nggak sampai segininya, tapi beliau memerintahkan pokoknya harus warna-warni gitu ya, sudah manut gitu ya, karena senior kan beliau kan pengalaman. Ya. Kita buat warna-warni gitu ya. As suggested by Prof. Evanto, you can provide extra dressing ya. Ini typo ya. You can provide extra dressing by adding color coding to your response. Ya, jadi komentar reviewernya biru, terus respon Anda hitam, nah nanti manuskrip yang diubah itu merah gitu. Ya, ini ya biar kelihatan wow gitu tadi ya. So you have to make sure that you get good impression ya from the editor and the reviewers. Ya. Alright, so First tips, ya, ini ada 4 nanti. There are 4 tips, but the first one you have to present your revision in sufficient details. You have to mention both page. Ya, Profesor Ivan already told you, perhaps you can use the title ya, pakai title juga boleh kan. I prefer to use narration. Yep. Page 1, abstract line 1. Yeah. And then I add the screenshot. Yeah. I edit the screenshot and then just put some lines over there. Yeah. So to make sure that the editor and the reviewers know which part of the manuscript were revised. Or you can submit as well revised manuscript with highlight. This is our tips ya. Jadi bisa juga nanti bersama response letter ya, with response letter you add manuscript with highlighted change. Pakai PDF di highlight kuning-kuning itu, Bapak Ibu ya. You can submit together with the response letter ya. Now the second one, justify your research with supporting literatures. Yeah. Sometimes there are very experienced reviewers, yeah, and then this is my personal experience. Yeah, the reviewers has a different viewpoints of the methods that we should use at that time. So sometimes if you work at a certain field, there will be 2 or 3 camps. Ada 2 mazhab, 3 mazhab gitu ya, 2 or 3 camps. The first camps they favor certain method. The second camps they favor the other methods B for example. The third camps they favor the other methods. Yeah. And then when these people receive paper from the first camp, they will try to reject. Beda mazhab so. Nah, ini kasus saya ya, dapat reviewer yang strongly reject. Ya. Jadi gimana? Ya you have to find related literatures to support your argument. Ya, jadi berdebat dengan literatur itu penting ya. Ini contohnya. I think this is very technical ya. I will not mention the content, but the essence, the substance you have to support with literatures. Yeah, all strong arguments. Yeah, you have to support with literatures. Yeah. And then defending your argument with more data. Yeah, some reviewers try to invalidate my research. Wah, ini your research is not valid. Man, I have to do more experiment. Yeah, more experiment, and it takes time, it takes money. Yes, because I'm from engineering field. Yeah, of course, in our field, when your data is not enough, yeah, then you have to take more data. Ya, ya sudah. Nggak ada jalan lain, gitu ya. Yeah, I supply with more experimental result. Yeah, do more experiment and try to relate the result with what other researchers have found. Nah, jadi ini dikait-kaitkan dengan apa yang sudah dilakukan penelitian sebelumnya. Ya, jadi memang harus eksperimen ulang. Ya. Nah, sometimes you have to write that your result is supported by other result. This one. In fact, this result confirm similar findings by previous works. Wah, jadi nyari teman. Wah, kayak kalau kalian mau bertengkar ya, nah anak-anak itu bertengkar gitu. Ajak konco lagu gitu ya. Nah ini saya ngajak teman juga loh. Punya aku tuh nggak cuma satu. I'm not the only one saying this, you know. The other researchers also did the same thing. Nah, ini similar mirip-mirip gitu. Biar reviewnya juga nge-pair ya. Oh, gitu kan. Oh, kancane gitu kan. Kan gitu ya. Nah, makanya dijelaskan. However, of course, when we do research, there are some contradiction with others as well. Ya. Jadi ada yang tidak similar. Ya. Nah, ketika ada yang tidak similar, ya, you have to address why. Ya, your result differ from the others. Gitu ya. Jadi you have to, of course, you can add some citations that support your arguments. Ya. However, you have to be fair. Ya. Jadi kebanyakan konflik di dunia ini adalah karena orang itu favor to one opinion, ya. Kalau Anda jadi scientist, Anda harus menjelaskan beberapa opini, but you have to make sure that you justify why your results are different from the others. So of course, you address this one is similar, this one is not so similar. Yeah. My result tends to go with these camps, yeah. With this with these authors and why my results are different from these camps. Ya. Jadi kenapa kok beda dengan kelompok yang ini? Nah, ini jelaskan di sini. Ya, gitu ya teman-teman ya. So that's the trick how to define your argument with more data. You have to comment the data as well. Ya. Yang jadi masalah. Alright, so the reviewers ask you to do more experiment, but you're run out of money ya. Terus kita did bro gitu ya, duitnya udah habis, gitu ya. What should you do? Gimana nih caranya? Ya. Gimana? Ada yang tahu nggak? Nah ini solusinya ya. You have to do more experiment, but you run out. You have no more time and resources ya. Jadi udah, pengen lulus ya begitu ya. Sama saya sih kan gitu ya. I have to graduate as soon as possible. This is my last semester. If I do more experiment, then I will not graduate. Ya sudah. Berarti teman-teman harus defend with literatures. Ya, gimana caranya gitu ya. Nah, so that you have a very strong argument proven by citation to a higher impact factor journal compared with your target journal. So I cite another journal that has higher impact factor than the journal that I submitted at that time. Yeah. So I put some strong arguments. I cited some papers from the other journals, but the journals that I cited, the journal was at the top 1 or 2% of the field. Yeah. So it's very high impact factor in my field, yeah, in the field. Yeah. That's the way you perhaps you can. You can make the argument stronger. Ya, dan ini terbukti bisa. It's proven. Ya, so I try to debate. Ya, I try to debate and then it works. Ya, jadi bisa dipakai. Ya. So you can cite the other papers from other journals and you should select the journals with higher reputation, ya, from the target journals. Ya. Now, AI may help you. Nah, ini baru ini, ya. It sounds crazy, but you can give it a shot. Ya. This is my manuscript. It's already in the last stage of review. So 13 May, hari yang lalu ya, 2 days ago ya, sekarang 15. 2 days ago I received an email from the associate editor that it is in the decision stage. It's already 4th round, sudah 4 round dulu. Yeah. Yeah, and then the last status is accepted with minor revision. So already they were accepted with minor revision. What is the trick? The trick is GPT. But I didn't tell the editor. Yeah. So the trick is GPT. So I kept these comments. Yeah, and then I uploaded the paper in the GPT. Yeah, and then I want the GPT to help me address the comment from the reviewers. Yeah. This is work smarter than the reviewers. Yeah. But of course, you have to confirm the result, yeah? Because the GPT will not give you the detailed action of how you should address the comment. The GPT only provides you with the strategy. Gimana sih cara addressingnya? Nah ini step by stepnya ya. And you can decide whether you will use it or not. It's up to you. Yeah, it's yours. It's your paper and you have to take responsibility. Yeah? GPT only suggests how to address the comments and then the rest is up to you. And this is the thing that you should remember when you use AI apps. First, do not tell the editor and the reviewer that you include GPT and then put in the co-authors. Jadi jangan dimasukkan sebagai co-authors. It's forbidden. Why? Because the GPT is just like SPSS, MATLAB, or the other tools. It's only tools that help you. Yeah? It's only co-pilot of your research. Yeah? So don't make it as co-author. Even you get so many help from the GPT, ya, tapi jangan saking Anda terparahnya harus tak jadi author. Hitung-hitung terima kasih untuk GPT kan gitu ya. No, it's forbidden. Yeah? And then you have to validate the result. Yeah? So this is the flow chart. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that you already you have seen this flowchart elsewhere, mungkin ya. But the thing that you have to remember is do you have expertise to validate the output? Yeah, this is the things that you have to remember, and you should say yes. Karena kalau enggak ya udah nggak usah pakai GPT ya. Nah gitu. Anda sakit, you have some symptoms, ya, running nose, fever, and then you ask ChatGPT what kind of medicine that I have to take. Oh, you should take this one. Do you really take the medicine? No, you will bring the result to the doctor. Ya. Dokter, ini saya ada ChatGPT, bener nggak nih resepnya dari ChatGPT? Kan gitu ya, validate with the expert. Ya, jadi kalau ada saran dari ChatGPT, you have to validate, and then you have to promise yourself that you will take responsibility. So the responsibility is yours. Artinya decision makingnya itu di teman-teman. Ya, ChatGPT give you some suggestions to revise, but you have to take all responsibilities. Ya, jadi jangan salahkan ChatGPT. Wah, reject mana kalau ChatGPT gitu. Goro-goro ChatGPT gitu kan. Ya. Saya pernah menguji dokter. I have been a reviewer or examiner for a doctoral student at that time. Yeah, and then at that time I found out that in her dissertation, there were some miscitation, error in the citation. And then when I asked her why there are so many errors in the citation, she said, "Oh, that's because I use main delay, Pak. I use main delay. So that must be the fault of main delay." And I said to her, "Okay, so I will give the degree to main delay, not you. The main delay will graduate as a PhD, and you will not graduate." Kenapa? Karena main delay itu tuh, kalau dia nyalakan main delay, it's rather silly, ya kan? Kocak juga gitu loh. Main delay kan tuh tanggung jawabnya ya di Anda sebagai penulis. Jadi dia nyalakan main delaynya. Wah, itu main delay, Pak. Mohon maaf, Pak, gitu. Lepas tanggung jawab gitu, main delay bisa. And then please read and follow the journal's author guidelines about the editorial policies. Ya. Jadi tolong teman-teman lihat di jurnalnya itu editorial policies-nya seperti apa, gitu ya. Alright, so this one is the last slide. Your manuscript is submitted, very simple, and then after revision, you will get like this. Very complicated, but the most important thing is you get accepted. Whether your manuscript is very complicated, it's okay, nggak masalah gitu. Penting get accepted kan gitu. Alright. So this one is the take-home message. First, you have to understand the review process. There are two ways. You ask the asking people who are directly involved as editor or reviewer, and then you get experience by yourself. And of course, it can be really tough and harsh, gitu ya. Pengalaman adalah guru yang terbaik kata kita ya. Tapi itu kalau kita mau menerima pengalaman itu, ya. Kadang-kadang kita menolak juga. Menolak realitas. Ya. And then responding to reviewers is more or less an art. Nah, jadi nanti teman-teman akan belajar sendiri, gitu ya. Makin lama makin pintar. Of course, the best way is to write with senior professors, senior lecturers. Like, for example, in my experience, I was a co-author of Professor Prof. So I learned from him. Yeah. Directly how to address reviewers comment, gitu ya, how to address the response letter warna-warni itu dari dia, yang itunya bukan saya. I learned from him a lot. Learning from other people is very good for you to get better experience. So find supervisor or mentor. Jadi bagus juga nanti kalau teman-teman yang early researcher atau entry level researcher, you ask co-author to check the response letter to give some advice on how to address the issue. That's very good practice ya. Itu salah satu fungsi dari author senior itu begitu. Jadi jangan cuma nempel di bagian belakang, tapi jangan tahu pengalaman tadi ya. Tapi juga memberikan masukan, gitu ya. Alright, so that's all for today. Sudah ya? Kok cepetan ya kayaknya? Betul. Ya, ini kurang begini gitu. So, silakan lagi.
Okay, thank you Dr. Wibirama for the explanation. So, before we go to the Q&A sessions, let me give a brief summary from Dr. Sunu's presentations. So, for the acceptability of the manuscript, it's based on the quality of the research paper, and then also it's important for the author to prepare the well-prepared cover letter. So it includes how you introduce yourself, and then what is the manuscript about, and then what is the most important and interesting about your manuscript, and why your manuscript is important. And then you need to declare the originality of the paper, and also you need to put the details of the corresponding author. And similar with what Prof. Even said, that each authors need to present their revisions in a sufficient way, in a good manner. And also, if you want to defend your argument, you need to support it with data or literature. And then, based on Dr. Sunu presentations, responding reviewer comment is a more or less an art. So it's an art. You can learn it. And also, it's interesting because based on Dr. Sun's experience, using AI may help you. However, you need to be extra careful because there are some conditions that you can use AI. However, there are some conditions that you cannot use AI because it's too dangerous. And also, it's important to learn from the other people, from the more experienced author, or to learn about the best practices, and also ask them to become your mentor or supervisors. Thank you, Dr. Sunu. And now we are coming to the Q&A session. I'm going to start the Q&A sessions. Is there any questions from this room? Yeah. Oh, a lot. Okay. Sorry, would you like to answering the questions right away, or keep the questions and then answer it later?
It's up to you. It's up to you.
Okay.
It's okay.
Straight away. Okay.
Let's just communicate slow.
Okay. We're going to start from here.
Thank you very much for the chance, and my name is Verly Arvidia, a student from MBA UGM. Firstly, I want to appreciate for the presentation of Professor Ivan Low and Dr. Sunu Wibirama. That's so well explained, and I want to ask about how is reviewers give us revision for more than twice, as Prof. Ivan has mentioned that it's a signal that the reviewer doesn't accept our paper, but if we already intently effort on our paper and we really concerned to publish it, is it possible for us to keep revise our paper and send it back to get accepted by them? And the second question is, how if the journal give a regulation to author to not use citation for more than 10 years, then is it possible for us to do citation of a research that published more than that time? Meanwhile, it is the main theory that we want to start from. Then, how we can seek a way to solve it? Thank you.
Prof. Ivan.
I think the first question is about revision, right? Revision, the R1, R2, R3. Dr. Sunu just now, he say he goes up to R6 to get the paper published. Means that the reviewer keep perhaps not really satisfied with the revision yet. I don't have experience up to R6, but the most I have is R4, means that revision 4 times. That's quite, I think, not to say common, but it can have that kind of thing. So what I can say is that as an author, we have to be sabar. Sabar, relax. As an author, we have to be sabar, sabar, right? We have to be just sabar because we want the paper to get published, one thing. The second part is that, let's say you think that the reviewers is asking something very nonsense, out of scope or something like that, after revision 2. Revision 1, the first report, it seems to be relevant. You do the revision, then you send back, then you come back revision 1, and then after that come back again revision 2. It seems to be out of scope already. Some of the authors, the reviewers. Sometimes we feel that way. I feel that way, and that's one thing. We have to be. We still have to do it, in the hope that the editors would think that these authors really do not give up, and at that time, some of the editors actually, that's my experience again. They will eventually accept the paper. Maybe after review 3, 3 or 4, or maybe up to 6. But we have to do it. We have to be sabar lah, in that regards when we do that. That's one thing. Some authors would think that why not we withdraw the paper? Withdraw means that we take out after review 2. We take out. The editor do not reject. The reviewer says that you have to do this much. Then you say it's enough. I withdraw the paper. Withdraw the paper is okay for some, but for me that is not okay because you have to go the process all over again. You take the risk lah. If you are risk taker, then you send to another journal. The process might start again. Then you go back review 1, review 2, review 3, sama juga. So why not we just sabar lah. And then we revise accordingly. As I said just now, sometimes if you have 3 review, sometimes you have 3 review. If 2 review already accept, if I'm the editor, I will accept the paper. Even though the other one may be still major. You know, if 2 have positive towards the paper, that is good enough. After second review or third review, that is good enough already. Editor can make decision actually. Editor can make that decision, not an issue at all. That's the first response. The second question was about citation. This is interesting. I never have that kind of experience because the journal that I sent, they never say that you cannot cite paper 10 years ago. Well, my argument is easy. If I were to argue, even that is the suggestion for the editor or from the reviewer itself, the argument is easy. Like you said just now, that is a theory. If the theory developed in 1970, maybe there's a revision in 1980, another revision in 1990, another version come out in year 2000. So we cite all because it's important to acknowledge the first one. For me, my perspective, we acknowledge the first one, but we don't highlight that too much. We just say that this story come from here. And then it has the revolution or the evolution of the theory come from here. The one that I use, the one that you use in the paper is from this one, not from 1970. Right? Then it's okay already. You satisfied the reviewer or the editors, you also satisfied your own. Because you don't forget the history. It's just that you don't highlight the history too much. You focus on the more latest one. I'm sure there's always, that's what we call evolution of ideas. Theory come from perhaps 50 years ago, but there's evolution throughout the years. Then it become more relevant for now, for the more relevant context, right? Thank you.
Why take so long for the review? Perhaps we got different reviewers in the next stage because probably it's not the same reviewers. So when you were a reviewer, you will know that perhaps you are available in the first stage of the review, but later on, we are not available to review the paper. So the editor will ask the other people to be the reviewers, and then it means different person, different idea, different perceptions, and then they will give different comments, right? So actually we don't know the name of the reviewers, so we cannot guess whether the reviewers are the same person or not from stage to stage, but different reviewers did happen. Ya, jadi mungkin reviewernya beda, Mbak, bisa jadi. Nah, kadang-kadang komentarnya beda. That's why when you are given, for example, 3 months to review, it is better to keep the time frame short to make sure that you still get the same reviewer. Kalau terlalu panjang, nanti pindah orang, Anda dapat new review, new comments. So whenever you are given, for example, 3 months, if you can finish the revision in 1 month, then submit to make sure that you still get the same person to handle, and then, that's the manuscript that I reviewed 1 month ago. Okay, I think that's all right. Yeah, I'm satisfied. Then, accept. So please don't take it so long. Yeah, for revising. But that's happened perhaps. Yeah, I don't know, but that happens. Yeah, sometimes different reviewers. Yeah, orangnya beda. That's all.
Yeah, okay. Thank you for the response, Dr. Sunu and also Prof. Evan. We're going to continue this first and then we're going to go there.
Okay, my name is Yuli Susetio from dari Malang, Universitas Negeri Malang. I'm currently waiting for the result of review run 1. How long do we wait for a response to our article from the editor and the general public? If it's more than 14 months, is it reasonable for us to wait? If in the 10th month the answer was given was given to wait or change the reviewer, what to do? And the second, Prof. Evan, I'm interested in attending the FEB conference. However, what about ensuring the publication of articles that have been collected and accepted at FEBs? Because our university demands that article will be published in the journal or proceeding indexed by Scopus. I think it's enough. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the question, especially the second question. Right, the first question is about how long. If you have waited for 14 months, 14 months, I think, if I not heard wrongly, not 14 days, 14 months, if you waited for 14 months for the first response of the journal to come back with the review report, I think you can withdraw the paper and send to another journal. You should have sent to another journal after 6 months, or maybe after 10 months actually. I would do that if it's already 10 months, not wait up to 14 months. You're very sabar. You're very patient actually. You and your quarters are very, very patient to wait for the journal. But that is one. The second one is that we have to understand. That's from the author's point of view. But 14 months is a bit too long already. If it's 6 months, still acceptable for a response to come back. 6 months still okay. 6 to 8 months is still all right, no problem. Especially the journal that have the submission system today. Submission system, maybe they use Scholar One, they use OJS, maybe they use editor, editorial management, is it? A lot of these big journal now, they use this kind of system, which we can check our paper under review, making editorial decision, desk review. Sometimes desk review, some journal actually, even the big journal, some desk review, they take about 2-3 months to send out to review. Means that the editor check the paper first, it already take 2 months sometimes, and then send out to review, it takes another 6 months. It's already 8 months, and then the report come in, then you get the report in 8 months, and then you do revision and so on. Some journals are very fast. Sometimes it depends, like just now Dr. Sunu mentioned just now, it depends on who are the associate editor of your paper that handle your paper, or the editor that handle your paper. In most of the journal today, they have numbers of associate editor. Bukan satu saja associate editor, banyak. So it depends on siapa yang handle paper tu, orang yang lagi rajin tekan lah. Pergi cari review and so on, and so on. Not to say rajin lah, you have to check. As the editor, we receive a lot of email every day. Maybe up to 50 to 100 emails per day, like myself. We have to check sometimes as an editor. We have to check this paper, that paper, this paper, few more journals. The more inside editorial board, the more journal, the more paper you receive, and so on and so on. So that's from editor point of view. But again, I think 14 months cukup lah. Sabar tu sudah maksimum. You send to others, potential one, but when you want to withdraw, write a proper email. jangan email yang marah lah. You write proper email says we wait for too long, 14 months, and I think it's time for us to withdraw the paper. Thank you very much for consideration. That's all. Full stop. You don't. Sometimes some editors straight away reply. They say that perhaps you give us another chance. You get the report by next week. Ooh, straight. They counter offer you. If they counter offer you, perhaps you can reconsider. Yeah, maybe. Mana tahu dia terus accept paper kamu terus. Sebab kamu sudah tunggu 14 bulan ini. You never know. You kasihan dia. You never know. But you can try. I mean, not to say try. Withdraw the paper. See what's the response. If the editor never respond, think it's okay. Never mind. You just send. No worries. No harm make. Withdraw the paper properly. Right? And for the second one, I think that one is more personal one towards the conference. We have partners journal. We do not do conference proceeding for this time around because for numbers of reasons we for conference proceeding to be Scopus index, there's another issue. It might take a while to do to Scopus index. I think you have that kind of experience. To submit to Scopus index, there's another issue. So, but we have partners journal, and we hope the papers that sent in will be can be considered to be published in the journal. But we cannot provide the guarantee that the paper will be published. We are not that kind of conference. Kita tak dapat. We cannot promise will be published, but we will. The papers will be considered in the journal that is related. If not related, then we cannot say anything. Except that in some of the partners journal, kita ada buat special issue. Maybe that one can be. There's more chances in there, and of course more opportunities there. We have that. You can come to see me personally. You can talk about it. All right? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So to save time, let's jump into the next question.
Okay. Thank you so much. My name is Mega. I'm from MD students. So my question is for both of Mr. Ivan and Mr. Sunu. Have you ever received the comment from the reviewer that you also feel confused how to interpret the comment? So how we supposed to correspond to that? And then the second question is, how if we already make a revision, and then how long should we wait for the final? Let's say the status is always the same in review. So is it okay for us to, let's say, contact the journal to ask whether our article will be published or not? And then the last one is about the Sarawak. I'm sorry. So there will be the proceeding, right? And there will be the feedback from our article. Me and my friend will be there in September. We just submit the abstract. Gladly we accepted we got accepted. But we want to know whether is it the feedback also stated that there will be a opportunity for us to be published in this journal, or we'll say that you might say this journal is appropriate or fit with your article. So that's all. Thank you so much.
First question just now was on the timing, is it? Yeah, unclear message. Okay. Yeah, I also get that sometimes. we might think different, the reviewer might think different thing. That's why lah pergi sampai review kali ke-6 lah. Maybe we get confused. Both sides get confused, right? If you get if the review report is actually not very clear, that's where actually the editors plays an important role. For me lah, editor play a very important role. You know, sometimes although it's not the specific field of the editor, right? You know, so sometimes the editor plays an important role actually to know actually what is going on inside the report. So and then to see the response. So if you have that kind of my experience is that even though it's not clear, we try to explain as per our understanding. So you just write the response as per our understanding. This is what the reviewer meant actually. It means like this from our perspective. Perhaps it's wrong. If it's wrong, then it's okay. You invite the reviewer actually to say that is this actually what the report or the comment meant. If not, actually, then we go back for we expect for the second review. It's okay, no problem. Just straight to the point. Says that, tapi janganlah tulis. What do you write here? Don't get into that kind of language, you know. Like just now, Dr. Sunu say, kalau if we cannot write a very polite way, ask ChatGPT to write the polite way. I ask ChatGPT to write this in a polite way. Then it's different. The response is different already, right? So write in the polite way says that from our understanding, this is what it meant by that comment. Perhaps from your perspective, it might not be. So, and then if it's not, then let us know what we can do more. Then if you read as a referee, if I read like this, I feel different. I feel that it's a kind of satisfaction. Maybe like that. It's okay. You know, then they might reply, you know, in that regards. Right? That's the first question. The second question was on
After the revisions.
That is very subjective also. That can be very subjective sometimes. Basically, normally, as an editor, we get the response. We send back the paper to the reviewer. If the reviewer reply, given a period of time, maybe up to 1 month, they reply. Then they reply whether it's accept or maybe more revision. And so on and so on. So that might take around, you can expect about 1 to 3 months. About that, 1 to 3 months, you can expect about another round, perhaps coming in or accept. Right? That's the decision. Or I mean, another round of revision, maybe like what Dr. Sunu just now said, I forget to mention that, but that happens most of the time, is that the editor might send to the new reviewer because the old reviewer, the previous reviewer never reply, do not want to respond. They say that decline to review. Decline to review. You review the first part, and then after that revision, you do not want to review. So as an editor, we in dilemma. We send to the new one, we open up. We open up the wounds another time. Open up the wounds. I use the word wounds. Buka lagi luka lama. Cerita lama. So it's all over again. That's why you get 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe. Because of that, it happens a lot from the editor point of view, where authors might not know that happened. So that drag the whole process again. Might get long, but 1 to 3 months is normal. Beyond that, maybe not so normal anymore. Not so normal anymore if they're in the review process. And question number 3, again, personal question number 3 is that if you send the paper, I said the paper, yes, we will. If you send the full paper later, we will see the suitability, which journal or the editors we will pass to them, and then see how from there. All right, that's what we can do for the authors. But to decide whether it's published or not, we cannot do that. Right, that's based on the journal itself, because we are not. I mean, it's just partners. Right. Well, thank you, Wolves. September, good.
Yeah, about the first questions, what about comments that we don't really understand about the substance? Yeah, agree with Professor Ivan. You can just write as per our understanding, blah blah blah. But of course, you can also confirm to the editor. Yeah, if you are not so sure about the comments from the reviewers, then just ask the editor, and then perhaps the editor will, yeah, will explain, or he or she will ask the reviewer about specific comments. Yeah, and then how long it takes to wait the response from the journal after revision? Yes, 1 to 3 months. And of course, you can also ask the associate editor or the handling editor to give you the recent status of the paper. Just like what I did with my paper, I always update asking the handling editor every 1 month or 2 months. Yeah, after revision, and then I will ask him whether he still needs assistance to find new reviewer. If yes, then I will suggest some names. But if no, then we would like to know what is the latest status of our submitted manuscript. Yeah, and then the handling editor will give the data. So we invite 3 reviewers. 2 of the reviewers already agreed, and then 1 already gave back his review. So the statistics. Yeah. So it's okay to ask the handling editor. Ya, jadi tanya aja status papernya itu saat ini gimana gitu. Nanti dia akan, ya kalau dia baik ya, dia akan ngasih. Ya, that's the footnote ya. Very small footnote ya. If he or she is a kind person, then he will update. Dan itu saya lakukan every 1 month or 2 months ya. Jadi sebulan sekali kita remind dia, karena dia juga sibuk kan. Nah, kita reminder lagi. Gitu sih. Alright.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Next questions is from back first. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. My name is Fahmi, second semester PhD student in FEB UGM. First of all, I would like to thank both speaker, Prof. Ivan and Dr. Sunu. Good insight, so interesting. Honestly, I have zero experience in submission and publish in international journal. Until 2 months ago, I decided to submit my paper to MRAC. And then right now, after 2 months, I get status awaiting associate editor recommendation. I just curious about it. What is it? Is it good news or bad news, or is it a signal for rejection? I don't know, because I have zero experience. And then the second question is, if we already make a response letter, so what should we do in the manuscript comment, in the comment box, in the right side on the manuscript from reviewer? Yeah. Or are we make a short version for from our response in response letter, or just we leave it? I hope you got my point, right? Okay, thank you.
Right. So waiting for AE recommendation means that the reviewers' comments are already collected, and then the associate editor will summarize and give the recommendation to the editor-in-chief. Normally, yeah, in my experience, the associate editor will suggest something, yeah, whether this is major revision, minor revision, rejection, or something like that, and then he or she will send the summarize, yeah, summarizing all reviewers' comments to the editor-in-chief, and then the editor-in-chief will decide final decision. That's in my personal experience. Jadi itu anu aja Mas, AE-nya yang harus dicolek-colek gitu ya. Kalau tahu orangnya. Sometimes we know the persons because they write the name. So we just send him or her email and then asking for the status of your manuscript. It's okay ya. They are not a ghost ya. Dia bukan hantu gitu. Jadi nggak apa-apa, bisa ditanya. What should we include in the revised version of the manuscript comments box? Well, you can add some comments. This is revised version from reviewers. First reviewer comments number 3, misalkan kayak gitu ya, for example. And then you can highlight the revised manuscript. You know, if you use PDF, then you can add highlight ya. Si kuning-kuning itu mas. Terus kasih komen aja di situ. So this is response for reviewers, first reviewers comments ya, number berapa, komen nomor berapa gitu. But that's not compulsory ya. Jadi yang paling penting sebenarnya di response letter. The most important one is in the response letter. You have to explain which part of the manuscript that you already changed. Ya, page in page, for example, page 9 ya, second paragraph or left or right, for example. It's better to use a line number ya. Jadi makanya saya suggest using line numbers because it's very easy to address the change ya. We already added some revision in line numbers berapa sampai berapa gitu ya. That's very easy. Pakai apa itu garis apa nomor garis itu mas. Line numbers ya. That's my answers. Yeah.
Right. I think if you get that kind of from the you check your status dalam Emerald, Emerald usually using the EM editorial manager. I think a lot of journals right now using that. Elsevier also using that. Or they use Scholar One. Anyhow, if you get that, means that your as been mentioned just now, your paper is already ready. I mean, the report is already ready. It's just that now the associate editor want to make decision to accept, to reject, to revise, right? That kind of thing, right? And then that's already good news. After 2 months, 2 months is actually very quite fast. So some journals actually take more than that. But yeah, Emerald journals normally Emerald journals are free. No article processing charges, no submission fees normally, except you option for open access or gold access or something like that, right? Which usually we don't do that as an author. So that's the first one. They of course you wait patiently. I think these few days you'll get the response. If not, you can email the name. There's a name there. Who is the AE, associate editor. If let's say it takes more time, you can ask the person the status of the paper. Or actually, inside the system itself, you can ask the journal, right? Using the system, you don't have to email anymore. Inside the system, you can straight away ask. You can straight away ask the question. Inside the system. Now the system is good. The authors also can correspond to the journal or to the associate editor straight away, most of the time, right? So I think I just want to highlight again, add on of what is mentioned by Dr. Sunu just now. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, so before we continue for the online audience, we have also questions from the Zoom because this workshop are conducted hybrid. So the question is from Farah from UIN Wali Songo. When the comment of the reviewer is not in line with our perspective, is it okay to deliver explanation and refuse to reject? Will it reduce the probability of paper acceptance?
I think Prof Ramaya actually replied. Prof Ramaya have replied actually. Prof Ramaya is in the session. Prof Ramaya, I think a lot of people knows Prof Ramaya. Prof Ramaya is there. See, I think reply is Prof Ramaya, right? Prof T Ramaya, right? Yeah, that's the famous Prof Ramaya from USM. Thanks, Prof. If you can hear me, thanks, Prof. Thanks, Prof Ramaya. Right, I think, where's the question just now? Farah just now, right? I think should be down. I think the question asks about if the response or if the question actually, or if the comment actually are not in line of what we are thinking. You know, I think Prof Ramaya answered that just now. We can have a rebuttal, right? Yeah, this one, right? If a question when the comments deliver explanation and refuse to reject, will they reduce probability of passive acceptance, right? It works. That I agree with what Prof Ramaya say. If you don't agree, it's okay. But you write politely. You says that this is not in line with our objective of the paper. For example, you touch on the paper. Our paper focused on this, but the comments given was on this. And then we cite several papers and so on that on the line that what we are doing. So we answer politely. Do not say, we don't want to do this. No, you are wrong. Don't write that. Of course, you will reject later. You write that perspective, what the author says or what the comment say is correct but from that perspective. Our paper look into this perspective. And why? Because our objective is like this, and like that. And we cite few papers. Just now, Dr. Sunu mentioned about one very important thing. That's one good tips also for me, is that you cite a higher level journal. That's very good tips. I learned from there. Cite a higher level journal. The journal that you send is like this. Perhaps there's a higher journal. Then you cite from them. Oh, that looks good for the journal itself, you know. So why not? You say that this from this one says like this. Okay. So I think it's all right. Thanks, Prof. Ramaya already answered.
Okay, so let's continue with the questions from the audience here.
Thank you. I am Hani from PhD student of FAB UGM. I have submit my manuscript last year on November, and now it's being minor revision. But I have revised and submit it about two months ago, and now I'm waiting for the delegation for the editor. My question is how I have to ask politely to the editor about how long I have to wait for the decision. Thank you.
I think that's very straightforward. Very straightforward question. If you have revised, minor revise, when do you submit the revision? Last year? November last year. So it's already 6 months. 6 months. When is that? The second revision, bila itu? 2 months ago. 2 months still okay lah. Still okay. But anyhow, maybe if there is no decision by end of this month, May, you can write. If they're using the system, you just use the system. You don't have to write email anymore. In the system, whether it's using Scholar One or Editorial Manager or even OJS, you can just write in the system and ask the journal. That's one. But if that doesn't, if it's through email, your submission through email, everything melalui email, then you write email to the editor, no problem. But for me, my suggestion, my advice is that maybe you wait until end of this month. Give them a little bit more chance. Because itu sudah pergi R2, dia bukan R1. R2, revision second time. So perhaps they need a little bit more time to make the decision. Maybe they send to the reviewer another time. Although it's minor. Editor actually can make the decision, but they have to wait a bit. Give them maybe until end of the month. Then respond. Then you reply. Or then you ask lah the decision, right? Thank you. That's for me.
Bu, tadi tanya tentang cara nulisnya ya. I will share an example of my email ya. Tadi kan tanya tuh cara nulisnya gimana gitu ya. Ya, polite. Ini udah muncul belum? This is an example of email when I ask the editor-in-chief and the handling editor. Dear Professor Liliana Trakovic, CC, Mr. Abhishek Kumar, I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing on behalf of all co-authors regarding our revised manuscript submitted on February 29, 2024 with the following details. Title, blah, 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 manuscript code, CR4. This is the fourth round. Given that our manuscript was classified as accept after minor revision on January 30. Putus ya? Yeah. That's the example of the email ya.
given that our manuscript was classified as accept after minor revision on January 30, 2024, we are eager to know the current status of our submission. Right? Jadi kita pengen ngerti nih current status of our submissionnya tuh kayak gimana gitu. We are grateful for the dedication and effort provided by the reviewers and editors, and look forward to the possibility of contributing to IEEE THMS. That's my email. Ya. Tanggal berapa ini? 13 Mei ya. 13 Mei, and then the handling editor straightforward answers on the same day. Jadi saya ngirim pagi jam 10, jam 14.26 di respons oleh handling editornya Mr. Abhishek Kumar. Dear Dr. Sunu Wibirama, your paper is at the make recommendation stage and we are expecting a decision very soon. Ini baik ini orangnya. Very kind person. Whenever I ask him, the same day he will answer. Same day. No reply. No reply. You have to wait. You have to wait. Be patient. Be patient. Yeah. But what is the last status? Minor revision? Ya. Mungkin ditunggu dulu, Bu. Ya, you have to wait. Ya, I think. Mudah-mudahan lah ya, mudah-mudahan. Banyak doa juga sih. Banyak doa.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fauzan. I am the third year PhD student. I have to thank you so much for your insightful presentation. In my case, the reviewer comment I have put on my manuscript, but they say that you need to do this. But in my opinion, I have already do everything that he comment in manuscript. So how I respond this comment politely. And then the second one is they asked me to cite several papers, but in my opinion, it's not relevant to my research. So what I should do? Thank you.
So the first question is, you already made some revision, and then you send the manuscript back to the editors, and then you. Oh, so it means that the reviewer, didn't read their manuscript perfectly, yeah. Yeah, you can just explain in the response letter that the reviewer's comments actually have been written in the manuscript, and then you have to make a detailed comments. Yeah, for example, we have written these results in the page, blah 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 blah. So you have to, or you can just screenshot the manuscript and then put inside the response letter, to make sure that the reviewers and the editors read that, okay, actually this comments is already addressed even before the reviewers give the comments, right? That's the best way, I think, yeah. And then the second one, irrelevant papers. You have to explain, yeah. For example, the reviewer suggests you to cite some papers, yeah. You have to explain which paper that is relevant in your research, yeah, for your research, and then which one is not relevant. And then you can just explain to the editor and the reviewer that, okay, we will cite this one because this is relevant and it's good to enrich the discussions, but we don't cite the other papers because those papers are not so relevant with our research. You can just say like this. And it is quite common, yeah, in a peer review process that the reviewer suggests the authors to cite their own papers, because that's the game of peer review process. because the reviewers get nothing. Yeah, from the review process, they get nothing. So they hope that their paper will be appreciated. At least you read my paper lah, like this, yeah, and then cite. That's very common, yeah. But of course, you have to read and select some papers that are relevant to your manuscript, and then you can just cite and then add some, citations. Yeah. Jadi dijelaskan aja Pak, mana yang relevan dan mana yang enggak. Kalau saya dibegitukan, ya saya pernah sih, suruh citasi 5 Pak. The reviewer send me 5 papers, ya. I have to cite and then there is common name, ya. So this is the reviewer, right? The common names in 5 papers, and then I cite 3 or 4. Because that's 3 or 4 are relevant and the rest not relevant. So it's okay to cite the papers. It's no problem. Yeah, that's all.
See, similar to what Dr. Sunu have mentioned just now. I think in my presentation just now, I did mention my experience. Also, same thing as what Dr. Sunu is that it's the same thing. We have that kind of reviewer that suggests these few papers, and actually about 5 or 6 papers or so they suggest, but then some of it is not relevant, so we only cite 2, I think, or 3 papers. Then second review come, the R2 come, the R3 come, the reviewer still not satisfied, but satisfied with the reviewing. I mean, satisfied that we include their paper inside our article, but not satisfied with what the other things that we don't really do respond in such a thing. So same thing go back to your question. We can rebut it, we can that one, but properly, of course. And then at the same times, we provide the relevance, we provide the citation, what is needed. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter. We have extra citation, extra papers, but it go back to relevance, because some of the suggestion, just give one suggestion. I mean, just give one example. This has happened to my paper with my co-author, but accepted this year, as I told you just now, it's okay. So we settled that issue. The reviewer asked us to include 5 papers, 5 or 6 papers, I forget specifically. But some of the papers published in the year 1997, 1998, and so on, perhaps it's already more than 25 years ago. For us, we cite the more latest one, from the same author, but more latest one. That our argument to the editors. So 1997 paper we don't cite, not to say not important, but we cite more recent one published by the same author. That's how we address that. We don't want to offend the reviewer. We also don't want to offend our editor, and also at the same time, we must keep our paper at relevant. But at yang terkini lah. We want to have the more latest one, go back to the issue of 10 years citation, and so on and so on. Okay, that I think that is very easy to address most of the time. The harder one, like again, Dr. Sunu just now mentioned, is to do extra experiment. That's for me also very hard to do that if you want to do extra experiment. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So, is there still any one who wants to ask questions? So there's a lot of questions for today. However, should we answer the one questions that actually already answered in the Zoom by Professor Ramaya? The question is about the person say that as you can notice that many high reputation journal reject most of paper affiliated to third world universities and scholars. Do you think there is a discrimination in publishing in a classified journal according to the regions? And do you have any experience or recommendations?
I think Prof. Ramaya have answered that very correctly. My experience is that I think perhaps Prof. Ramaya would have more experience than myself. Is that at the same time how should I put it such a way? In reality, publication game in reality, most of our thing, unfortunately, come from the developed countries. Most of our thing, journals, highly reputable journals, high-ranking journals, the higher impact factor journals, all come from the developed countries. Unfortunately, I said that at first in my beginning. I should be very careful with my word. Come from a lot from there. So eventually that leads a little bit towards bias. I use the word bias. Means that there's an issue of, perhaps there's an issue of discrimination. There is, I agree to a certain extent, but not 100%. That happens in a lot of even not just journals, but in anything that we do, that happens, right? That's one. We have to accept that reality. The second part is that the second part is that for the past at least 10 years, as I experience and also provide some, as I seen, a lot of authors, a lot of journals actually, for the past 10 years, actually accept a lot of papers from developing countries now. There's a lot more developing countries papers now in the good journal. If you can look into whatever field they are, whatever field, across the field, not just specifically into certain field. But this is a very good bibliometrics analysis, if you want to do. Can publish that paper. Can do an analysis on, can do a research on bibliometrics, or you can publish in journal called Scientometric. Scientometric is in, I think in Wiley, very good journal, Scientometric. They publish on research related, this kind of issue, output, productivity, and so on. The productivity of developing countries have increased a lot throughout the years. And a lot of contributors actually come from ASEAN countries, fortunately. ASEAN countries have a lot of contributors today in journal publication, including Indonesia, Malaysia. Malaysia to certain now Indonesian authors getting more and more. And a lot more papers coming from China, still considered as developing country, and so on. So that proved one thing. That proved my second point is that of what Prof. Ramaya say. It doesn't matter of the affiliation where you come from. As long the paper is good, good journal now wants diversity. That's the word. I forget that word. Good journal now want diversity. As a good journal that is top ranked, you cannot just publish papers from one country itself. That's not good anymore today. We want diversity, we want sustainability, we want future. So all journals right now want diversity of authors. Means that they just don't publish paper from the US or from certain region. No, I don't, that kind of things have been reduced tremendously. But if you take 15 years ago, 20 years ago, yes. But today, the things are different. The things are different. So we try to penetrate into more and more slowly into this, because diversity. Same thing goes to local journal, local Indonesian journal, local Malaysian journal. We want diversity, and so on, diversity of authors. So I think I put that as a comment, of course, because and the other game that the other things that I might sometimes I use is that that works, but not 100% works sometimes. Dia tak selalu 100% works. I have co-authors from some other countries. Maybe I have co-authors from Italy, co-authors from the UK, co-authors from Australia as my co-authors. That might maybe help the chance of publication. Might help, not necessary. That's not necessarily true also. I've like I told you just now, the beginning, just now I say I have one paper with my friend from Turkey. The paper is on on Turkey. It's the one single country. We sent to Borsa straight reject. we sent to another journal, also still reject. So now 2 journals have reject. We try to send to the 3rd journal, hopefully to get some way. And my co-author, so is a different country and so on, but still, so sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But diversity is important. Sometimes at the co-authorship also diversity important. Journal also want to see diversity, right? Total, as an editor, we just don't want to see everyone come from the same institution. Oh, sometimes editors also think, not to discriminate, but different, right? That kind of even diversity and more. So, right? But that's one. The other part that this is from editor point of view. There's a lot of there's one big issue in journals today. Some of the even the big journal today, they call it paper mill. Paper mills means that one author, they can submit 20 or 30 papers to one journal at the same time. That happens in a lot of journals today. Some of the journals that I handle today, we acknowledge this issue now. So come from the same author, come from the same, if not same author, same group of people, just submit. So we call it like paper mill production. They submit to same, the target, this one. Today they send, tomorrow they send. That is a sign of something fishy behind there. It can happen. I just tell you that kind of thing. And a lot more other issues. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you for all the questions for today's forum. I think we come to the end of this workshop. So if I may take some important notes from Prof. Even, that when we are writing our paper and then waiting to be published, we need to be sabar, right? And then the things from Dr. Sunu is, when we addressing the reviewer comments, it's an art. So we need to practice also, not only writing the paper, but also we need to practice in addressing reviewer comments, because it's important. And thank you for coming today. Thank you, Prof. Evan, coming in FEB UGM. Thank you, Dr. Sunu, for coming in FEB UGM. And thank you for you all, ladies and gentlemen, for coming in this workshop. Hopefully this workshop will give benefit to you, to all of us. Thank you, and I'll give the stage to the MC.